Good evening and welcome in, hockey fans. You have found your way back into the neutral zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Whoa! What a crazy first round we had. 5 different series going the distance, needing all 7 games, multiple overtimes and game 7s on the same day. What a finish. There's nothing like playoffs in the NHL. We will break down round 1, then round 2 has dropped the puck tonight. We will break down those upcoming series, who we're expecting to move on, perhaps how long they will take to move on. And then, when we're done talking NHL, there's some fun playoffs going on in the AHL as well. The Calder Cup playoffs are going down in the minor leagues. An unusual player got a goal last week. We will talk about all that and more coming up here on the Neutral Zone. This is IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Do not go anywhere. And welcome in once again to the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am Adam. Zach Puplis is along with us here tonight as well. So much to be going over from the first round, a second round to break down, lots and lots and lots of hockey to be talking about. How you doing tonight, Zach?
I'm good, Adam. How are you?
Oh, my goodness, I'm having fun. I also realized I have a little bit of an issue with the setup, so give me just a second here while I fix some things. I realized that when I was doing that open, that the mic that I usually use for you during the setup went dead. I know why it went dead. I know how to fix it, but unfortunately at this point, the only way to fix it would be to stop and restart the show. So instead, I've got an alternative way of doing it. So we're now all set up and good.
Sounds good.
And without any further ado, because I've kind of forgotten about this the last couple of weeks, let's acknowledge our sponsors before we go any further into the show, because we have got a ton to talk about and a ton of stuff to break down from that first round and then set up and preview the second round, which has already gotten underway somewhat here tonight. But without any further ado, here at IE Sports Radio, we are sponsored by the Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed, to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, to give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport, you may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. Find them on Twitter at SoCal Warriors, Instagram at Southern California_Warriors, or by clicking on Facebook, Southern California, searching Southern California Warriors. And IE Sports Radio is available for you on all the major social platforms. Just search at IE Sports Radio. That'll work for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or even go into our website, iesportsradio.com. And for the last now 8 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content, ranging from interviewing legendary athletes to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the world. All the while, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans. And with your help, we're ready to take the next step. When you go to our website, iesportsradio.com, you'll see our Patreon link with 5 different tiers. The first one starting at just $5 a month. This donation gets you shout-outs on all 32 of our shows. Higher tiers include IE Sports Radio merchandise, access to our podcasting university, and even a chance to be featured on a segment of our flagship show, The Defining Moment. Thank you all very much for continuing to make IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. And our fan of the month this month is Justin Ekstrom. He's a Viking fan from Minnesota. Find him at thesportscrib21 on Twitter. And we wanted to say thank you to everyone for making our 8th anniversary special this past weekend very, very special. Here's to many more years to come. And a shout out to our Patreon supporters, Bay Area Raised, Emless Great, Key to the Gate, and Anonymous. And then ways you can follow along with this show. This show is available for you on Twitter. We are at IESR Neutral Zone. I am at Adam_Karnick. Zach is at The Pupless. With all that said, we are now ready to go. Zach, what was your favorite series from that first round?
Oh, I think it's a tie between Edmonton, LA, and the Pittsburgh Rangers series. I figured the Pittsburgh Penguins would make short order of the Rangers, but nope, no such luck.
Took them right to the brink. They had him. They had him right where they wanted him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was listening to some commentary on that on the radio. And they were saying, well, it all starts here. You got to stave off elimination in game, what would have been game 5. And then, okay, game 6 is kind of a toss-up. But, if the Rangers win that one, it's like all the pressure shifts right back to the Penguins.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were feeling the pressure. And then having Sidney Crosby go down with a concussion certainly doesn't help matters, when your star player goes down.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, being up games, 3 games to 1. Yeah. And then the other team starts to chip away at that series lead. It's like, oh crap. Oh my God, we might actually lose this.
Yeah. Pittsburgh was definitely feeling the pressure there. I liked that Kings Oilers series. Had Edmonton lost that series, I don't know what you would. I don't know what they would have done. And you look at that roster. You lined that one up ahead of time. There was no way that anybody would have taken the Kings over the Oilers heading into that series, yet that series went the distance. Not that LA is bad. They're relatively young. They're relatively inexperienced. Yeah, you got Jonathan Quick on there, who he's won cups. You've got talented players there in LA, but they weren't considered a serious contender for the cup. And here they took the Oilers right to the brink.
Yeah. We talked at the beginning of the year with all the different star power that Edmonton had, the video game numbers, and Connor McDavid and Draisaitl and now Vander Kane, and yeah, and then compare that to the Kings, like you said, and they're just not. I mean, they're decent. They made the playoffs. They're better than my Red Wings or your Blackhawks.
And they're going to be good for a while too. It's not like they're flash in the pan. They're building something.
Oh yeah, but the point I'm getting at, they're not the vintage Kings that we saw in 12 and 14 that won the cups. Correct me if I'm wrong, but about the only thing that's still the same is Jonathan Quick.
I'd have to look at the roster. I'd have to look at the roster for them, but I believe you're correct in that yeah, that's all they would have left.
Well, here I'll pull it up.
All right, you pull that up.
I guess the only other series that I really was super stoked about was I love it when anytime a team can clinch and close out another team in 4 games and just completely sweep them. So, props to the Colorado Avalanche for that.
That series was so
lopsided.
Lopsided is the perfect word. That Nashville had no hope in that series, and it became abundantly clear very early in that series that you're not getting anywhere. They gave them a couple of good periods. They got one good game. Game 2 went to overtime in that series. They gave them some flashes, but ultimately Colorado is just, okay, we're going to flip the switch now. Goodbye.
Right. enough screwing around.
Yeah, exactly. We're better than you. We're about to show it now. Starting now.
Yeah. Oh, I was wrong. Anze Kopitar is still on the team.
Oh.
They've got Andreas Athanasiou, one of my former Red Wings. Let's see if there's any other names I recognize here. Well, we weren't far off. Jonathan Quick and Anze Kopitar are about the only holdovers from those 2 cup runs.
Yeah, you figure that was 8 years ago. There's the average.
The longer one.
What's that?
10 for the 2012 run, yeah.
Yeah, it's been 8 years since they last won it, but like you're saying, 10 years ago for the first one, the average length of an NHL career is only like 6 or 7 seasons. So you're officially at the point now where anybody that's left is having a longer than average career. So
yeah, Kopitar's 34, so he would have been 24 at the time. For that first cup run, and then 26 for the second one. Quick is 36, so yeah, he would have been 26 and 28 at the time, respectively.
And before this season, we thought Quick was not long, not long for the league anymore. That he was going to be hanging it up soon, and then he has arguably his best season in years.
Yeah.
The one. What series surprised you the most from the first round, Zach?
I think maybe a toss-up between the Pittsburgh and New York series, just because of the huge lead. The Pittsburgh blew a huge series lead, and then the other one would have been the Hurricanes and the Caps. I thought not the Hurricanes and the Caps. The Panthers and the Caps. I thought the Caps would have put up a better fight. I mean, with, Alex Ovechkin and everything. Yeah.
Florida's been so consistent all season, though. That one didn't surprise me too much. The one that surprised me the most was Minnesota St. Louis. I
had a feeling you were going there.
Yeah, I did not think St. Louis was going to be enough to beat Minnesota. That to me, if I'm a Wild fan coming away from this, I am sorely disappointed. And based on Twitter reactions and readings and things like that, and my in-laws all living in Minnesota, Wild fans are very disappointed in the way that season went. That's not how that was supposed to go.
Oh, well, for sure. Yeah. I mean, look at how well they were doing in the season, and they were at the top of their division and, points leaders, et cetera. And they figured, this is the year we get over the hump, that we get to the cup, or at least, Western Conference Finals, or nope, just kidding.
Yeah. I forget which analytics site I was reading, but as recently as February, it was one of those, okay, we did 1,000 permutations of the played out the rest of the season from this point forward to see who we're getting from this point. And it was the Minnesota Wild win the Stanley Cup. That was happening more than with any other team. Now, it wasn't, far and away the leader, but it was still, you simulate the season 1,000 times, and it was something like 380 times the Wild won the Cup, and they don't even make it out of the first round.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that also devalues the Marc-Andre Fleury trade.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, for Minnesota, they now don't have to give Chicago as much in that trade, but you made a trade for a top flight netminder, and you couldn't even get out of the first. And not only could you not even get out of the first round, they benched him for Cam Talbot heading into Game 6.
Yeah. Well, but from Chicago's perspective too, I mean, it was a conditional pick, a conditional trade, so that had they made it further in the playoffs, that with a certain percentage of that, not blame, but that credit going to Fleury, then Chicago would have gotten a higher pick in return.
Yeah, there's absolutely that aspect of it. The Blackhawks are sitting there going, "Damn it, we don't get as nice of a haul for this." But you still, you got something. You got a return on a goalie. It's definitely for Minnesota. It's, oh my gosh, we traded for a guy that we thought was going to put us over the hump. Not only did we not make it over the hump, we benched that guy in the before the pivotal game because we knew he wasn't getting it done for us.
Yeah. Well, I just spotted an article today, and it looks like the Wild aren't going to learn anything from the Golden Knights. They want both Talbot and Andre Fleury back next year.
Well, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that. Talbot had a good season. Talbot definitely had a good season. Marc-Andre Fleury was having a good year, all said and told. But then, in the playoffs, they just could not get it done against, in my estimation, an inferior St. Louis team.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a lot of talk about round one. Round two is underway. It has started tonight. We have two regional battles to be discussing. We have the battle for Florida and the battle for Alberta. We will discuss those plus the rest of the round two matchups on the other side of this break. You are listening to the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunderous Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Harrison Glazer, and we're coming at you from the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. I cover the Jets, the Islanders, the Nets, and the Yankees.
This is Pierre Moss, and I cover the Mets, Knicks, Rangers, and the Giants.
Our show is live every Wednesday through Spreaker and a bunch of other ways to get our content. Again, we're the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. We talk about all those New York sports. It's a lot of fun. We get into all of it. Please tune in. Again, that's Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
And we look forward to having you guys right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Hey there, sports fans. Are you looking for a sports show that maybe isn't 100% about sports?
Then you might want to check out the Sports Couple Perspectives right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Most sports shows cover only scores and stats, and while we're not opposed to that, we dig a little deeper into sports issues and some of the hottest topics in athletics.
In addition to sports, we take a journey through my neck of the woods, pop culture, with movie reviews of both sports and non-sports films.
Speaking of pop culture, make sure to participate in our game nights, where we quiz each other on our specialties, and you, the listeners, can win IE Sports Radio apparel.
We always have a great time learning more about each other's worlds, one show at a time.
So join us each week on the Sports Couple Perspectives, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am Adam, along with Zach, and we talked a lot about the first round. Before we move on to the second round, we did not talk at all about the Toronto Maple Leafs in that first round. The Maple Leafs, of course, lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning, the defending champs. It looked for a while like the Lightning were not going to be able to pull off a three-peat, but then they came back, took the series in 7 games, one of the many 7-game series. And of course, whenever Toronto loses in the playoffs, there's always the talk for everybody to lose their jobs, clean house. Let's start over. Where are you on that, Zach?
Oh, wow. I think you really got to take a really close look at it and make sure that that's really what you want to do, because if you do that too many times, you're not going to get anywhere at all. It's
Yeah.
going to be, go 3 years and, okay, we didn't get anywhere. Oh, fire everybody, start fresh. And, yeah, so sometimes it just takes a little bit more time to get the program started.
Well, and let's face it, too. It's not like Toronto had a bad season, nor did they lose to a chump team. It's not like they were the, I know this isn't how the playoffs are formatted anymore, but it's not like they were the 1 seed in the East and they lost to the 8 seed. You lost to Tampa Bay. They're the back-to-back champs.
Yeah, the 2-time defending champs. There's no shame in losing to them.
Right. And the team.
But I guess.
Oh, go ahead.
But I guess what you can say is that it was a missed opportunity for them to get to the next rung in the ladder. Because they won the first game 5-0. So we already got that one in our pocket. We just need 3 more. And okay, they lost game 2, 5-3. Okay, close game at least. And then game 3, they won 5-2. Okay, we're halfway there. We just need 2 more wins. And they just couldn't get that second one.
Yeah, Austin Matthews has a terrific season, and you certainly you feel like you wasted that. But I don't know that Matthews is headed for any kind of a decline here in the near future. They just lost to a good team. If you were to continue that series with Tampa Bay or play that series again, I would not be surprised to see Toronto win it again. To have Toronto, if they were to replay that series, to have Toronto come out ahead. They were 2 very evenly matched teams.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I think these days the Lightning just has too much firepower.
Yeah, they're strong. They're very strong. And the Maple Leafs did come out earlier today. This is just a couple of hours ago. President Brendan Shanahan, you know him, Zach. President Brendan Shanahan said earlier today that both head coach Sheldon Keefe and general manager Kyle Dubas will be back. They're not moving on from those guys. And Shanahan also says he does not expect that there will be significant changes in the roster this offseason.
Why do I know him?
Well, but what, he was a Red Wing, wasn't he? Brendan Shanahan?
I don't know.
I could be mistaken too. A couple of things have happened since then.
That might be before my time, or before I started paying attention to hockey. Let me take a look.
All right. Well, while you do that, we'll transition over then from round 1 into round 2. And good evening, Taryn. Taryn Rodriguez jumping into the chat real quick. He's covering some high school boys volleyball, but taking a minute out to say hello. Good evening, Taryn. Round 1 finished up with some amazing hockey. Round 2 has begun, and we have 2 regional battles in round 2. One is going on right now. The battle for Florida is happening as we speak. We are tied at 2 with 8 minutes to go in the third between the Lightning and the Panthers. So we know that the state of Florida will be represented in the Eastern Conference Finals for at least the third straight year. The other regional battle that's going on is the battle for Alberta up in Canada between Edmonton and Calgary. Our other 2 second round series, of course, the St. Louis Blues and the Colorado Avalanche, and then the New York Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes. And Taryn is sad that the Kings are out. Now remember, Taryn is a Ducks fan, but he does cover all things Southern California sports for us on Friday afternoons on SoCal Supreme. So he was becoming if not a Kings fan, he was cheering them on anyway. And they ultimately could not get the job done. We both said, though, in the first segment, Taryn, that we were surprised that the Kings were able to take the Oilers the distance to all 7 games. And it looked for a little while like the Kings might survive in advance and get into the second round. We both feel like the Kings are up and coming, and they should be back in the playoffs. So even though they're out now, there's very possible that they will be back next year in the coming playoffs. So Zach, looking at our second round matchups, is there a matchup that you are most excited to watch for this second round?
Sure, I will answer that in just a hot sec. To answer your question from earlier, Brendan Shanahan, he did indeed play for the Red Wings. He also played for the Devils, the Blues, the Hartford Whalers, and the New York Rangers.
And he would have played for the Red Wings, around 95, 96, somewhere in there?
I just tuned off of it, but it looks like he was with them when we won the 3 cups. So I think 97, 98 with the back-to-back, and then in 02.
Okay. The name was there. The name was in the back of my head, so.
Here, I just got back to it. Yeah, playing with Red Wings, he won 3 Stanley Cups, 97, 98, and 02. In 2017, he was named one of the top 100 greatest NHL players in history.
Your guy, Brendan Shanahan.
Yes. So not only did Mike Babcock make the move from Red Wings to Maple Leafs, but Brendan Shanahan did too.
And a lot more lucrative of a position, too, as a team president. Good for Shanahan.
Yeah, that's awesome. Side note, did you see that Mitch Marner got carjacked after losing the first round playoff?
Did. Yeah, what a sucky way to start your offseason. Yeah, Mitch Marner of the Toronto Maple Leafs, they get knocked out of the playoffs. The next night he gets carjacked at gunpoint.
Yeah, here, I got it right here, the readout. Police say suspects took a black Range Rover at gunpoint at 7:45 Monday. Tuesday is exit interview day with the Maple Leafs, and while Marner's not expected to speak, his teammates say that he's doing well, just happy he's okay and wasn't hurt. Austin Matthews said, "I don't really know much more than you guys do, but it's great to see him here today. Can't imagine that's a fun experience to go through." Well, no joke. We're all just glad he's okay. Added Jason Spiza, "It's scary. That's real life. That's not hockey. That's scary. That stuff is jarring. So happy to see that he's okay." Yeah, wow. Marner, who grew up outside of Toronto, had a career-high 97 points this season and contributed 2 goals and 6 assists in the postseason. Wow.
There's a part of me, I hope that this was random, that this was not somebody targeting a Maple Leafs player like "Oh, you suck, you guys lost it. How could you lose that series?" It's some kind of disgruntled fan kind of a thing. I hope this was random.
Right.
And then the guy probably got it home and went, oh no, what did I do?
I took whose car?
I did what? Oh.
Ooh, not good. Okay, sorry, but round 2. I found out when I was looking up the president of the Maple Leafs. I was like, I gotta say something on that one. Yeah, I'd say my 2 favorite ones are out west. The Battle of Edmonton and then the Colorado series, and we'll throw in the Battle of Florida for good measure.
So you're least interested then in the Carolina-New York series?
Say it again?
So you're least interested in the Carolina-New York series then?
Yeah.
You just figure Carolina's going to get that one over and done with quickly?
Sure. I just that, and I don't think it has as much appeal as everything else does. I mean, we back in the beginning of the year we talked about building a rivalry with the entrance of the Kraken, and so I think these two, the battle for Florida and the battle for Edmonton, are just going to be really passionate series, and they're both good. Everybody's going to be getting after each other. And then Colorado, I think from the beginning of the year, they've been the front runner for the Cup. So I just want to keep seeing them progress.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the two battles. The battle for Florida between Tampa and the Panthers, and I am really looking forward to tomorrow night watching the battle for Alberta. We haven't had the battle for Alberta. It was 1991 was the last time these two met up in the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's always special when you get to watch just two Canadian teams going at each other. It's probably more the atmosphere in the stands more than the teams itself, because let's face it, there's guys from every country on every team. It's not like the Edmonton Oilers are purely Canadian players, or the Calgary Flames are purely Canadian players. You've got American-born guys. You've got German players. You've got Russian players. You've got guys from all over on those teams. But the atmosphere in the stands, something about when they're just singing "O Canada," they're not mixing in the Star Spangled Banner. They're just doing their national anthem, and the atmosphere in the crowd is just a little more special when it's an all Canadian game. So to get a series of that, and they're two crazy fan bases, should be a ton of fun.
Oh, for sure. Well, and you look at their records too. I mean, they're very, very close. Flames, they're 50, 21, and 11 with 111 points. And the Oilers are 49 and 27 and 6 with 104 points. So yeah, that's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it should be an excellent series going on between those two, starting in Calgary tomorrow night. Calgary has the home ice advantage in this one. So who
do you mean at the Saddle Dome? Eh?
What's that?
Oh, you mean at the Saddle Dome, eh?
Yeah. So
I always laugh every time I hear that, because I'm like, wait, that's the name of your stadium, the Saddle Dome? Okay, why not?
Exactly, why not? Why not? So who do you see coming out of these series? Who do you see advancing to the conference finals?
Wow. One little quick hit, and then I'll give you that. Looking at the records for the Battle of Florida too. Panthers 58, 18, and 6 with 122 points. Lightning with 51 and 23 and 8 with 110 points. So again, both of those are just gonna be an absolute blast. And Florida starts the series at home on tonight.
A quick update on that game. One of the Panthers' goals got disallowed. I do not know why. I don't have the game up. I just have the score up in front of me. That one of the Florida goals got disallowed. So it is 2-1 Tampa Bay with 4 minutes and 25 seconds to go in regulation. So one team is ahead. So let's start there with the Tampa Florida. I'll give you the season series. They played 4 times. They both won twice. Florida won. I mean, they both won some blowout games. I'm doing the quick math in my head here. Florida scored 19 goals. Tampa, meanwhile, scored 15 goals. So Florida had the edge in the goal differential, but they split the 2 games in the regular season. One game did go into overtime, the second meeting back in November. Who do you see coming out of this one?
Side note, the Lightning just scored again. They're up 3-1 now.
They did. Yeah, they were on. That was a fast power play. That didn't take long. Nikita Kucherov said, "Thank you."
Right. For as dominant as the Panthers have been this year, I'm I'm going to throw you a curveball by starting that way, and I'm going to go with the Lightning. I mean, they've got the most playoff experience in this matchup. They're gunning for their third cup in 3 years, so I'm going to stick with Lightning on that one. What about you?
All right, I will go opposite for fun. Then I will go opposite. I'm going to say that the Panthers, that the reign for the three-peat, the attempt for the three-peat ends there in this series. That Florida ends up, the Panthers wind up winning the Battle of Florida. We'll go then next to the next series that is starting tonight. We've got the Blues and the Avalanche. Now I have a feeling we're probably both going to go the same way on this one. To get it set up, the season series, they played just 3 times in the regular season. The Avalanche took the series 2-1. The Blues won the first meeting, and then the Avalanche took the final 2. The Avalanche scored 12 goals. The Blues scored 11 goals. So it was actually a very, very close goal differential in the 3 games. Who do you have coming out of this one?
I'm sticking with the preseason pick, Avalanche.
Yeah. If this series goes longer than 5 games, I'll be shocked. This series should be quick. I would not be surprised if it's a sweep. Colorado is just too dang strong.
I mean, yeah, just listen to the names. I mean, McKinnon and Cale Makar and Gabriel Landeskog.
Yeah, etc. at all. Yeah, they're just way too. So I'm suddenly reminded of Star Fox 64. He's too strong. So yeah, they're just and then of course you've got Kemper in net.
Yeah. Oh crap! But my boy Torrey Krug is on the Blues though. He's a Spartan, but he is on the injury report. So
yeah.
Never mind.
All right, then we'll go back over to the Eastern Conference. We'll do the Rangers-Hurricanes series next. Now, this starts tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The two teams met 4 times in the regular season. The Hurricanes took 3 of the 4. None of the games went to overtime. You had the Hurricanes scored 14 goals. The Rangers scored 10 goals. So Carolina outscoring them 14-10, and that's with Carolina getting shut out in one of the games. Who do you see coming out of this one?
I still like the Hurricanes on this one.
Yeah, what's your reasoning?
They've just been consistent all year.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. I mean, you've got all those goal scorers. You've got Stahl and you've got Aho, our favorite guy, Nino Niederreiter. You've got Teuvo Teravainen, and then Antti Ranta is playing extremely well in net for Carolina. It's not that the Rangers aren't without talent. I mean, you've got Chris Kreider, you've got Igor Shesterkin. I mean, he's up for both the Hart and the Vezina Trophy. You know, it's not that they're without talent. And they did just come from being down 3-1 against Pittsburgh. It's not like they couldn't do it. But I'm with you. I like Carolina coming out of this series. Do you think it'll be a long or a short series?
I think it might be a shorter series because they probably took everything. You know, they had all the gas in their tank. Is all gone from trying to overcome that deficit against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, Carolina had to go 7 games against the Bruins too, so it's not like it's not like Carolina's been sitting around for 5 days waiting for their next opponent.
This is true, yeah. But that one was more of it wasn't an actual deficit, like a huge 3-1 deficit in the series, was it? I mean,
no.
Like 1 game to 1, 2 games to 2, 3 games to 3.
Yeah.
And finally went to 7.
That was, a lot of it. The Lightning have scored again, by the way. It is now 4-1 Tampa. So the Lightning are taking game 1. I feel comfortable calling it with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left to go. Tampa Bay is taking game 1 over Florida. One more series, and then we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about some minor league playoffs. We've got the battle for Alberta. Edmonton and Calgary starts tomorrow night, scheduled for a 9:30 puck drop. We both know that's BS. It'll be 10 o'clock Eastern by the time they actually get around to dropping the puck. That's hockey time. It's 9:30 hockey time.
I'm going to go ahead. Sorry.
So they played 4 times in the regular season. They split. All 4 games were decided in regulation. You had the Oilers scoring 16 goals in the 4 games. And you had the Flames, not to be outdone, scored 22 goals in the 4 games. So you want to talk about video game numbers. You scored 16 goals in a 4-game series, and you were a -6 in your goal differential. How do you see this one going? How do you see this one going down?
Video game numbers for both teams. Holy
for,
smokes.
For both teams. Yeah, I mean, you look at it. Gaudreau has had an outstanding season, and he's been great here in the playoffs for Calgary. Of course, McDavid. Of course, Evander Kane. Of course, Leon Draisaitl. Who are you taking in this one?
I'm going Oilers. Connor McDavid and all that whole squad, Leon Draisaitl. I think they just have too much offensive firepower.
I am torn on this one, and I agree with the firepower. The Oilers should be able to score. Where this series could turn, I'm going to go Edmonton. I'm going to go with you and go Edmonton.
Okay.
But if Mike Smith struggles, Edmonton could be in trouble. Jacob Markstrom, he's a Vezina finalist.
Oh, like we discussed last week. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah.
We talked about him last week. He's one of the finalists for the Vezina. He only allowed 1.5 goals a game so far in the playoffs.
Woof, yeah.
Mike Smith could be Edmonton's undoing. So if Edmonton loses, it's because Mike Smith just can't keep up with what Jacob Markstrom is doing on the other end. Now, we saw in the first round, scoring was up all around the board. Everywhere scoring was up. I wouldn't be surprised if scoring goes down a little bit. Of course, then Tampa Bay scores 4 goals tonight, so what the hell do I know? I wouldn't be surprised to see scoring go down across the board here in the second round. And Edmonton could be in trouble if that's the case, because Mike Smith is not Jacob Markstrom. Markstrom has the edge there for Calgary. I'm going to go Edmonton, but there's a serious asterisk for me there.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's take one more really fast break, and then we have a fun story from the Calder Cup playoffs to talk about. This is the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your rec feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for the latest on Northern California sports? Then take a trip out west with me, your host, Gina G, on Reppin' to NorCal Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be bringing it to you all the way live every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a packed show. I'll bring you everything Dynastic 49ers, the bite of the San Jose Sharks, torture of the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors that we still believe. Then take you across the bay to the rise and grind of the Oakland A's. I've got you covered on college ball from the Cal Bears to the Stanford Cardinal, so that no matter what, reppin' in NorCal sports is always reppin' the Bay. So if you bleed red and gold, or you're looking to keep an eye out west in them thar hills, don't miss me, Gina G, on reppin' in NorCal sports. Catch me every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have your fandom repped harder than a trio of defenders guarding Stephen Curry before his buzzer beater is Gucci.
And welcome back into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam and Zach back with you for one more quick little segment before we get out of here tonight and turn things over to Cale Henderson at Sin City Sports, talking all things Vegas. They have a head coaching vacancy. Barry Trotz, anyone? I'm sure that Cale will be talking about that and plus other things going on with Vegas, with the Vegas Golden Knights coming up. But the NHL is not the only place where playoffs are going on. We also have in the AHL, the American Hockey League, the hunt for the Calder Cup is going on, and we had some fun. If you're at all a St. Louis Blues fan, you've probably seen this or heard this from their AHL affiliate, the Springfield Thunderbirds. They have a top-flight goalie prospect by the name of Joel Hofer, and he had himself a memorable night. He allowed just 2 goals, but that's not the part that he's going to remember. Take a listen to this highlight. This is from the Springfield Thunderbirds Twitter feed. We're just going to play this highlight for you. If I can get it to play. I apologize. Here we go. That's why. It's because I have Zach going on, so we're not going to have the audio. Hold on for me just a second. We'll get the highlight another time. Hofer scored a goal in the game. The goalie scored a goal in the game. Joel Hofer, obviously it was an empty net situation. He had the puck behind his own net and flipped it all the way down ice into the empty net for a goal. One of the I mean, it's not the first time that a goalie has scored, certainly. It's rare when it happens. It was the first time in the AHL since last year. Tristan Jarry got a goal. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's the first time in the AHL since 2018-2019. So it's been a couple 3 years since we've seen that. And this was Hofer's first professional game. He's 21 years old. He was the top goalie at the 2020 World Junior Championship. He's in his first professional playoff game, scores an empty net goal. He spent a little bit of time up in the NHL this season, played a couple of games this season, but primarily was down in the AHL, 18, 14, and 8 this season. But Joel Hofer scores into the empty net for the Springfield Thunderbirds in their 6-2 win. A very, very cool moment.
Oh, for sure.
And also when he got done scoring, not only did he get mobbed by all of his teammates, he then went through and led the handshake line, if you will, going through and high-fiving everybody on the bench. He got to do that part of it too. So just a cool moment for the young man. Certainly something he is going to remember for the rest of his professional career. Had you gotten to see the play, Zach?
I heard about it, and I was going to mention it the other day when I first saw it, but I tried pulling it up, and it didn't pull up for whatever reason. So I'll have to go Google it.
That's okay. That's okay. And I was going to play the audio, but unfortunately the way I've got you wired into the show is also messing with the audio, so I can't do two things at once apparently. So that's all right. We will retweet it on the show's Twitter page at IESR Neutral Zone for that. All right, I think that is going to do it for our show tonight. We're going to So we will sound the horn with that. Lots of playoff hockey talk going on tonight, of course. Get you a quick scoring update here to close out tonight. The Lightning did indeed win 4-1 over Florida. So in the Battle of the State of Florida, round 1 goes to the Lightning 4-1. They scored 4 unanswered goals to take that game. They now have a 1-0 lead on the series. And the Blues and Avalanche are already underway. They're about 6 minutes in the first period. No score in that one. Want to say thank you to all of our sponsors for tonight, the Southern California Warriors, for continuing to support not only this show, but all of the shows on the network. Thank you again to our Patreon supporters, Bay Area Raised, Emlos Great, Key to the Gate, and our anonymous donor. Thank you for your support. Thank you to Larry for all the hard work he does at the station. He got married over the weekend. Stick taps all around for Larry and Cecilia. Congratulations to them both. Thank you to Taryn for coming and hanging out in the chat room. Apparently my mother snuck into the chat room here at the last second. She listened to the whole show tonight. My mom is trying to learn about hockey. Oh, there we go. Thank you for listening. Wherever you are, whether you're listening live or whether you're listening later on as a podcast, thank you for spending time with us and letting our zany brand of show entertain you for an hour or so. Coming up next, we have got Cale Henderson and Sin City Sports breaking down all things Las Vegas. He'll be talking, I'm sure, about the Golden Knights and their head coaching vacancy, the Vegas Aces of the WNBA. I'm sure there'll be some Raiders talk and all kinds of other fun things going on there, so be sure to stick around for that. For Zach Puplis, I am Adam Karnick. We are the Neutral Zone. We will be back next week breaking down the second round and all the other news around the hockey world. Until then, stay out of the penalty box.